everyone, I'm Shannon Lawlor. I am the acting senior beauty editor here at Marie Claire, and today I am joined by Jennifer Rock, who is the founder and CEO of Skingredients and the Skin Nerd and general fountain of knowledge when it comes to skincare. So Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi Shannon, thank you for having me.
No problem. Honestly, my pleasure, because today we're going to talk all about a topic that I know that you are so knowledgeable on, which is cleansing, and it's how cleansing affects skin aging. If it does, how to deal with it, and just a general conversation about it, really, because I think it's something that a lot of people subconsciously think about, which we will get into shortly. But first of all, I just want you to kind of discuss from your expert insight the general importance of cleansing in a skincare routine, because it is the basis of a great routine, right?
You just answered it. That's exactly it. So I think there's so many areas of skincare that thankfully have evolved. Science and data is just at our disposal now, which is amazing for consumers and for brands alike, for our clients. But cleansing is still part of the holy grail. It's the fundamental, it's the bookend. So if I could encourage people to simply cleanse every day and put an SPF on every day as the key, as the core, as the absolute must-dos, then that's the truth and how you can look after the skin. The reality is that the skin is an organ. Whether you're at home all day, whether you're out and about, it's undeniable. There's going to be oil secreted or a lack of oil secreted. Your skin will hopefully desquamate itself to a degree, depending on your age, which we'll talk about. There's going to be pollution and debris and dust, and it's just inevitable that those tiny little microparticles will reside on the surface of the skin. Sometimes they penetrate through, cause inflammation. So it's really important, particularly at nighttime, it's really important to truly and thoroughly literally cleanse the day away. So for me, cleansing is a non-negotiable, if you will, in skincare, but it's probably the unsexy part of skincare, where SPF and retinols and actives get their airtime. Cleansing is seen as the not so fun piece, but as you said, it's crucial, it's hardworking, it allows those other steps to work a hell of a lot better, and it really does help with skin health.
So why do you think it is then that as we get older, I mean, we've kind of discussed this before, but as we get older, I feel like that there's less of a focus on cleansing. We think that as we age, cleansing isn't so important. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I think perimenopause and menopausal skin, thankfully, is getting celebrated and spoken about so much more, because it's an awful lot of the clients and the customers that we would deal with on the daily. It's our reality. But within that, what gets a lot of airtime is barrier repair, so ceramides and hydrating and antioxidants, or retinols, really upping the ante to ensure that the skin is, I suppose, accelerated, whether it's turnover, pigmentation, and like we know that the plethora of reasons why we should consider vitamin A and retinol and many other ingredients. But because they get so much airtime, I think cleansing is left to the side by default, whereas I'd really encourage people to see cleansing for all ages, but particularly as we move into that time of life where there's 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, your skin isn't exfoliating itself like it once was. So there's two ways to look at cleansing as we choose to do so in the Skin Nerd. And that's what we call pacifying cleansing, which is essentially your hydrating, creamy based TLC type cleansers, and then complementing that, like the yin to the yang, with your active cleansers, which will be the ones that probably get a little bit more, probably discussed a little bit more, which are your acids, be it your beta hydroxy acid, your alpha hydroxy acids, your polyhydroxy acids. So I believe in the double prong approach of cleansing, not necessarily just double cleansing, but ensuring that I have within my toolkit the both aspects. So one will really look after the health of my skin, the barrier, calm it, remove the day, and the second one I'll use occasionally, maybe every second or third night, to really accelerate whatever particular skin condition it is that I'm trying to look at. And when we get to 30, 40, 50, 60, because it's subjective as to what mature or older is, right? But from 25 onwards, we know from an anatomy and physiology perspective, our skin isn't exfoliating itself like it was. So we would class mature or aging skin as the 25 plus. And for that age group and all age groups, it's really important that we cleanse to get the best benefit from the following serums. Why do people, I suppose, the key question is, why do people not value it, or why is it not spoken about? It could be the fact that we speak about dryness, barrier, irritation, aging, as opposed to the cleansing step being imperative to all of the following steps.
Yeah. And I think that's really the crux of it, isn't it? So why, when it comes to cleansing and people falling away from it a bit as they get older, where is that kind of ground, what's that grounded in, and where does that come from? Why is it that people associate cleansing, particularly that kind of harsher cleansing, not the moisturizing one that we spoke about, and then accelerated skin aging?
I think cleansing in general, people have a misconception. And I suppose I would have described it in years gone by as an epidemic of over cleansing or over exfoliation, because they can go side by side. I think psychologically, when you look at Mintel, they say that 75% of women, particularly globally, feel better in themselves when they have a skincare regime, but the education that needs to come with it is paramount. And when we talk about cleansing, there's that need to feel at times that squeaky clean, really taut, tick the box of really taking the day away sensation. Or in the morning you get up and you cleanse the skin and you want to feel like really clean, so your makeup or SPF will adhere really well. The disadvantage with that is that you are by default then disrespecting the skin as an organ. You're taking too much of the natural oils away. And interestingly, as we mature, we tend to know, and particularly as we head towards the menopausal state, our skin isn't secreting the same level of oil as it did when we were in our teens or 20s or even early 30s. So cleansing should be a double-pronged approach. And what I mean by that is it's a give and take. So Shannon, you and I know each other. If I took from you constantly, you no longer be my friend, right? So we need to make sure that we're always giving and taking in any relationship in life. And the same premise applies to skincare. So as you age and the oil perhaps is secreting slightly less, different consistency, different triggers to it, we need to make sure we give back. But we also want to make sure we take away the day and then set our skin up for the serums and all the sexier parts of skincare. But if you don't cleanse the skin properly, you're just not going to get those same results. So 60 seconds, nipples up is always what we say. Not trying to be crude, but if you think about it, a majority of our tops, your neckline today, most of our necklines, unless it's literally polo neck season, which we're probably in, it really is important that you cleanse everywhere that the day is, your skin is exposed to throughout the day. So nipples up, 60 seconds, give and take is ultimately the key goal for cleansing from 30 onwards.
You've just summed up cleansing in literally a couple of minutes. You've done it. Honestly, Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us. And I mean, I've taken away a lot from that, because I am that person that likes to scrub my face clean and have it squeaky. And I know it's not good, but I do like it. So honestly, thank you so much for joining us, Jennifer. You've been a dream as always. And thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you. Absolute pleasure. All I'd say is ask yourself, are you cleansing thoroughly? Are you cleansing and taking your product off? And if you are, 365, ideally AM and PM, then you really are on the right track to cleansing your skin and respecting it as an organ.